questionnaire in the plantation areas, and the estate owners usually, they don't allow intruders. And the reason being, they use a lot of children, maybe for labor, and the government is trying to deal with that, so they don't like to allow foreigners just in case something leaks out. And then lastly, it was the demand to include more groups than we could possibly manage, okay? Because there was a time they wanted like maybe more groups than the 3 we had to prioritize. So it was a back and forth.
Who was the donor?
Oh, yes, yes. The donor wanted like if we could include more groups, and it was really a back and forth discussion to say what really can we prioritize. But in the end, we actually reached an agreement to say those are the 3 groups we have to work with. And the successes, it was really a time-saving process because we had to do a lot of activities at the same time. We had to map out the HIV service delivery during the step 2, which we were able to present it to the program and to use it for program implementation. And I'm happy that at least we started with the place step 2 and 3, because that really informed us where we were supposed to do the sampling. Otherwise, we would have just said, okay, maybe let's just go out and include the formal bars, not knowing that for the plantation workers, we had also to include the local Kachaso places. And also one of the information which came out of that particular point is that for the plantation workers, they don't really usually go out like every day in a week. It's usually when they've received their pay, because they get paid like every 2 weeks. So we made sure that when we were going out to do our data collection, it should really coincide with the pay days. And also the involvement of stakeholders during all the processes, like choosing the target groups and presenting the results for the step 2 to say these are the HIV service delivery, this is the way how we are moving forward, actually helped. And as I showed you, we were able to generate the directory which the referral network objective they are able to use before implementation. Okay. So the take-home message is, well, there are many PSI tools that help us to program, but sometimes we need to think outside the box and consider better approaches to suit our program needs. Thank you very much.
I have one question. Sorry. If I remember, the first objective of the program is to identify the target groups. Maybe I have missed that part, but it's still not clear to me how you identify your study population.
Okay, so to start with, like we had convened a meeting, we had so many groups, the commercial sex workers and whatever, and all those were really involved in step 1 and step 2. But then it reached a point where we said, okay, what exactly are we going to move forward with? And we had to use external data sources to say maybe we need to narrow it down to the HIV prevalent rates and what information is out there. So we were really shaping as we were going through, because in the beginning it was just thought like we were going to address to all the high-risk groups. So that's how we helped the program to say these are the target groups we should work with.
So based on the HIV prevalence rate among different populations?
Yes.
Okay.
Are there other groups working with the other high-risk groups, though? I mean, I guess just looking at this, it feels like we went from a program that had to really focus on most at-risk populations to one that is a population that's maybe at risk, maybe not, but it's unclear because the concurrency is not clear. And that seems like it would be a shame, but if there are other groups working with sex workers, then maybe it makes sense.
Yeah, the other groups are actually, I know that there's Path for Hope. They are based in Mwanza, where we actually worked with the vendors. That group is working with the commercial sex workers. So it's only that group, but when the donor came in November, I think it was really a lost opportunity to say maybe for the research would have extended. But for the sake of the program, it actually had 5 target groups, high-risk target groups, because they are working with the commercial sex workers, they are working with MSM, and plus the other 3 target groups for the research. So when I said the other groups are working with, I just meant like data at least is available, knowing like what is out there. But for these 3 which we had to work with for the research, it was very sketchy.
So there is other research for MSM and sex workers?
For MSM, it's illegal. In Malawi, we can't actually like go out there and do that. But for the commercial sex workers,
you have research?
Yeah, the research is out.
So working with the leading MSM group, a group that works with, among other at-risk populations, criminalized populations, including MSM, collaborating very closely with them under ABD.
So we're doing it, it's just not high-profile research, like this is about the research.
Going to map out, we are mapping out MSM.
Implementation covers a number of other areas, including generic condom distribution as well.
And then for sex workers, there's another study that's been done by somebody else? Or?
Studies have been done by other partners, and
Yeah.
our programs are based on those areas of research.
Chinawa, is there any effort now to sort of link back what you found other ways? For example, when you did the mapping of providers, are you also asking potential clients about where they go to seek services to strengthen your provider referral network?
That we didn't ask, but maybe the question which was really included in our questionnaire, it was just about whether they had tested before and when they did that, but we didn't actually like ask them to say if they had accessed other services. Yeah, but when we are doing the M&E, we are able to collect that information to say which group is coming for the services which are available.
Is there another round planned?
Yes, in 2014.
That's your opportunity to integrate the place information with your track data. I think because what Krishna's getting at is an objective opinion from the target population about where they want to find services, not just of the services we offer who comes in, but it's this track map integration that Virgil's working on with Bram.
Okay.
So you should coordinate with them. That would be very useful. I had another question too. I mean, just a warning that the thinking outside of the box theme. Asia, Latin America, and Europe have been doing this for many years, PSI programs. They've always had to integrate some mapping and preliminary work with their tracks in order to do time location sampling. So it's not necessarily new. It's new for Malawi, and it's new for a lot of the continent. But it's not necessarily a new process for PSI.
Because what is really added value on this is that it is integrating the places where the venues with the available services. So basically it is going in the direction of the map, but in a probably a little bit more complete, more thorough way. Yes.
Yeah, and also just the layers of people you go through to identify venues is more thorough than most people give their maps.
Exactly.
I had a question. Do you guys like map? I mean, would the program recommend the place methodology for other programs? Because it is a hot thing. USAID likes it a lot, and it seems to pop up in these MARC proposals frequently. And we always have to make a decision: do we go with place, or do we use our own research tools? Do we do something